Kemono Friends is an anime I never really thought I would enjoy and watch fully from the first episode to the last, but after seeing all the episodes, I'm glad I did. It's now one of my favorite animes for many reasons. The story is surprisingly good. There's a girl that wakes up in a savannah and doesn't recall anything. She meets a serval named Serval, which is a naming scheme throughout the anime. Serval calls the girl Kaban, Japanese for bag, because of the bag she has on. She finds out that she is in Jupari Park, an island filled with animals. Serval wants to help Kaban find out what type of animal she is by going to the library. Along the way, they meet many other anthropomorphic animals that will help solve the mystery. The story is very good. It's easy to digest and simple. It makes the anime a lot better than the other animes. One small personal criticism, however, is their decision to use the name Kaban. It was a weird choice to name a character after a bag, but it's not like other anime names are well thought out either. Ceruleans are very good antagonists because they always try to create trouble to the characters in interesting ways. They also present the audience with the question of what are they and how are they created throughout the story. The art in the anime is very flat. They use CGI type animation for this anime, but because of the lack of a big budget, it wasn't very good. They use 2D backgrounds on 3D animation, which looks a bit weird, but you can get used to it after a while. The first episode is where it really falls short, especially during the first few minutes of it. The first episode of any anime is what the audience uses to judge the anime, similar to a cover of a book, and if they don't enjoy the first episode, they won't watch it anymore, which is what happens. It does get better throughout the next few episodes because of the attention it received. The backgrounds, while 2D, do look very good. Some advice to the audience is that you shouldn't judge an anime by your early impressions of it. It won't open you up to an anime you might actually love in the end. The audio is decent. The characters' voices are leveled and are easy to hear and comprehend. However, the educational parts of the anime, explained later in this review, don't have the best audio. Some of them are actually recorded professionally, for example the serval part in episode 1, and some of them are just recorded from a phone call or in an area with some noise. You might find an issue with it in the anime music albums, but it isn't an issue here. Lip syncing is also less than decent, as it doesn't fit together with the voices. Thankfully, it isn't extremely out of order, but it does look very weird in the end. Going back to the voices, the voice actors portray the characters very well. Whenever they are supposed to be in shock and sadness, they do it very well, making the anime seem very real. Whenever something dramatic happens, they play the song called Cerulean and play until the drop comes. It stops and something big happens to replace the drop of the song. I personally don't like it, as they do it every time. There is a lot of background music I love, but to cut it short, my favorite one is Adorable Pair since it has a good beat and sounds cute. In each episode they introduce at least one new character and explain them in the educational segments. Whenever there's a new character announced, the audience learns something from them. It's unique and a cool addition to the anime. These characters' purpose is to help Kaban figure out what type of animal she is and to progress the story. These characters are all different types of animals. They are what make Jupari Park just that. They act like what an animal would, unaware of what many of the things there are in the park. They each have a different personality and it really makes the anime better. Kaban is a smart character in the anime. She usually solves situations, which helps them figure out what animal she is. Serval is a clumsy character that helps Kaban. Lucky Beast is another major character that adds a lot to the anime. This anime is on my top 5 best anime list. Why? This anime does a lot of things well, like the story and character. The things it doesn't do well honestly makes it more memorable. What adds on to the anime's greatness is the Reddit and album music. Kemono Friends has a very good fan base on places like Reddit. It makes it better because they do a lot of things related to the anime like art. The albums the anime has sound very good and add more content to the anime. However, like I explained in the sound section of this review, the audio is not oftenly good. It doesn't affect the experience though. Kemono Friends is an anime that gets a lot right and does the best it can with what it has. Its story in some ways is unique and makes the anime great. The art and animation is cheap, seen from the first episode, but it does get better over time. The voice acting in this anime is good, but in other aspects it's lackey. The characters in this anime are great as well because of how different they all are. In the end, if you like anime with some great story, mystery, and anthropomorphism, this anime might be in your lane. You won't be disappointed. My overall review of Kemono Friends is an 8 out of 10. Here is a broken down list of my review. Thanks for watching this review of Kemono Friends. Before I sign off, I would like to thank you guys for the support on the Overlord II review video. From now on, I'll be focusing more on anime reviews, but we'll still be diving into gaming reviews as well. Thanks.